Tuesday, and this is CNN Student News, kicking off 10 commercial-free minutes. I'm Carl Azuz. First up, some headlines. The peanut butter recall expands. Kroger, one of the biggest U.S. supermarket chains, is recalling foods made with peanut products that could be tainted by salmonella. You might remember that a peanut processing plant is being investigated in connection with an outbreak of this disease. You can find an updated list of all the recalled products on the FDA's website. Heavy snow socks London. The worst storm in 18 years blanketed the British capital on Monday. Heathrow Airport, one of the busiest hubs in the world, canceled more than 650 flights. And millions of people missed work as the city's bus network shut down entirely. I guess Punxsutawney Phil was right about those 6 additional weeks of winter. And the stimulus moves to the Senate. The legislative body is scheduled to take up the bill this week. Of course, the House passed its version of the economic stimulus package last week. There are some differences between the two versions, starting with the price tag. The House version was $819 billion. The Senate's is closer to $900 billion.
Is this legit? During the Great Depression, the U.S. unemployment rate climbed higher than 20%. True, the unemployment rate reached nearly 25% in 1933.
The current unemployment rate is a little over 7%. It seems as if new layoffs are being announced every day, and yesterday was no exception. Macy's, we told you recently that they were letting go of about 1,000 employees. Well, that company raised that number to 7,000 on Monday. Josh Levs adds up the numbers on America's unemployed.
So this is one of the latest statistics we've been seeing for unemployment in America, this 4.8 million figure. Now that's the number of people collecting under unemployment benefits, but that does not include people without jobs who are not collecting those benefits. And for some of them, benefits have run out. This is how many Americans the government says are unemployed. It's a little more than 11 million. Huge figure. We're putting it in context this way. Check this out. New York City population, 8.3 million. Let's go to Chicago. Population there, 2.8 million. Put those two major U.S. cities together, you get just over 11 million people, the same number that the United States government says are unemployed in America. All right, let's do another example here. Ohio here, the population of the state, 11.5 million, about the same number of Americans that are unemployed. Let's zoom past a few more examples here. I want to show you some more. Let's go to the state of Georgia. More unemployed Americans than there are people in Georgia. There are also more unemployed Americans than there are residents of Missouri, Iowa, and Nebraska, all combined. And out west, one more example here. We're going to show you the city of Los Angeles. You could multiply the population of Los Angeles by 3 in order to match the number of unemployed Americans that there are. Now, of course, all this is just one way to look at that big a number and get a sense of how huge it is, and that does not include those considered underemployed who just can't get as much work as they'd like. Back to you.
Thanks, Josh. Now, it can be hard to put a face on a figure that large, but the unemployment number, 11 million, represents real people who are out of work and who now face a tough question. What do we do next? Peoria, Illinois was hit hard by layoffs recently. John King looks at how some of the town's citizens are responding.
Caterpillar, the bedrock of the local economy, stunned workers last week by slashing 20,000 jobs worldwide, many here in the Peoria area. Then on Friday, more shock. 2,100 more jobs cut just here in central Illinois.
I don't want to be on unemployment. I've never been on unemployment before.
For John and Mary Beth Fagan, a double whammy. Both worked at Caterpillar, both out of work effective Friday. 3 children, 2 cars, and a mortgage. John is going back to school using benefits from a tour in Iraq with the Illinois National Guard. But if Mary Beth can't find work within a few months, the options turn drastic.
If things really got that bad, I would probably volunteer to go.
You'd volunteer to go to, that's Iraq or Afghanistan?
For my family, I would, yes.
Confronting such stark choices is harder because these jobs were the gold standard. As automakers and other U.S. manufacturers suffered in recent years, Caterpillar thrived because of overseas exports. In a union shop, Jim Lyerly's 39 years seniority protects his job, but he worries a way of life is fading.
I made a good living here. The kids coming into now, I'm not for sure they're going to make the same good living I made. It's bad. My heart goes out to the people, I tell you.
It was that dream of a good middle-class living that convinced Chris Gwynn to move his family here from Las Vegas.
Wanted to work with a company that's been around for 83 years and, you know, Fortune 500 company, and I mean, how could you lose on something like that?
Gwynn was among more than 800 workers abruptly told Friday was their last day.
It's hard, you know, because now that I have to look at my wife to be the breadwinner and looking at my kids.
On these papers, and these are from the job loss.
Because his wife works, Gwynn is enrolling full-time at Central Illinois College. Back to school isn't an option for Christy Williams.
Well, it was just me and my kids.
There is no other breadwinner. A single mother, 5 young children. Williams left a job at a law firm for long-term stability and better benefits at Caterpillar. Her 2-week notice came last month.
At first, I wasn't worried. I've never been laid off in my life.
She is worried now. Williams says she'd love help from Washington, but isn't counting on it. Her unemployment benefits run 10 more weeks. Juggling the bills is hard. Hiding the toll at home, hardest.
A word to the wise. Viral marketing. A sales campaign designed to be so compelling that potential customers discuss it across various social networks.
Well, one product that is certainly getting some momentum from viral marketing is the Snuggie. You might have seen commercials for this thing on TV. We even run ads for it on CNN. But wherever you stumbled across the Snuggie, chances are you've told your friends about it. Jason Carroll examines the appeal of this unique product.
YouTube has been flooded with people imitating it.
Are mundane tasks like answering the phone now impossibly difficult?
Ellen DeGeneres is making jokes about it.
They give you a free light when you order it. What they should throw in is a pointy hat so you could look like a wizard or something like that.
Call it Obi-Wan wear or monk chic. Many aren't sure what it is.
How do you put it on?
Or why anyone would want it.
I think it's funny, but hey, someone invented it.
It's a Snuggie. It's an oversized fleece blanket with sleeves, and it's an economic goldmine.
No one knows why things take off, but the Snuggie just took off. And people are talking about it, and they're making fun of it, but they're certainly buying it.
The company says 4 million Snuggies have sold since they started airing those quirky national commercials last October.
Enjoy a snack while staying snugly warm.
Why is it so popular now? Snuggie says consumers have cozied up to the idea of staying home and saving money by turning down their heat during a troubled economy.
It really does appeal to that sort of hunker down mentality you see so many Americans have now. The Snuggie is almost like the comfort food of the clothing line.
Consumer experts also say the Snuggie came at the right time, just when conventional advertisers were pulling TV spots to cut costs, leaving cheaper TV time for Snuggie's creators to buy.
Call now and you'll get the ultra soft, ultra warm Snuggie for only $19.95.
That cheesy commercial, it's so bad yet so good. Call it the Snuggie cult, now a pop culture hit with fans who dedicated a Facebook page to it.
You start to get a viral marketing buzz and word of mouth takes over and people just say, I want to get that. Because why? Well, someone I know has it.
Out on the street, it's definitely an eye catcher.
It feels snuggly.
But consumer experts wonder if the fad will last. When it gets warm, who's really going to want a Snuggie when beach blankets go on sale?
You might have heard about the controversy surrounding Olympic gold medalist Michael Phelps. A British newspaper published a picture of the swimmer using what appears to be an illegal drug. Phelps has apologized for the incident, says it won't happen again, but we want to hear what you think. Does this change your opinion of Phelps? Should it? Sound off on our blog. And before we go today, moving houses, never an easy thing to do, especially when you're doing it across a frozen lake. But the only way to get this century-old home off the island where it stood was to go straight across the ice. Of course, when you're transporting a house that weighs 60 tons, it can get a little tricky. The mover should know. His father tried something similar 40 years ago and failed. Luckily, this move turned out a bit better, although it has to make for some icy stares at family get-togethers. Woo! Well, that'll put today's show in the deep freeze. I'm Carl Azuz.